Hello and welcome to Tell the People, a program about our Catholic faith with news and information in and around the Catholic Diocese of Lafayette. I'm Stephanie Bernard. In today's show, Trista Littell interviews Anna LaRiviere about Catholic Schools Week. Father Michael Russo's talk about the family in the segment What It Means to Be Catholic. And in a conversation with Bishop Michael Gerald, Monsignor Richard Green interviews Bishop Gerald about another important topic. And now, Catholic news. St. Anthony's Catholic Church in Lafayette will host a day of reflection for African American men on Saturday, February 23rd from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The event is sponsored by the African American Men's Conference, and the focus will be the African American male in his role as man of God, husband, and father. For more information or to register for the event, please contact the Lafayette Diocese Office of Black Catholic Ministries at 337-261-5694 or obcm@dialaf.org. Our Lady of Sorrows Retreat Center in St. Martinville will host a Lenten Day of Recollection on Saturday, February 23rd. The theme of the event will be Dying Well, the Death of Christ and Christian Death. Participants will be guided in pondering the sacredness of death as they reflect on ways to help prepare for their own deaths, as well as how to better minister to the sick and dying. There is no cost or registration necessary to take part, although individuals are asked to bring their own brown bag lunches for the day. Mass and confession will be offered. For more information, please contact Father Michael Champagne, 394-6550. The 2013 Man-to-Man Conference will be held on Saturday, March 16th at the Cajun Dome Convention Center in Lafayette. Guest speakers for this year's conference will include Father Rick Wendell, a former Irish gang member, Mr. John Pridmore, Mr. Gus Lloyd, a Catholic radio talk show host. Registration for the conference is $35 per person. Additional information may be accessed online at www.mantomancc.com. The West Region of the Lafayette Diocese will host an evening of affirmation for caregivers on Thursday, March 14th from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at Vanderbilt Hall, 205 Church Street in Delcombe, directly across from Our Lady of the Lake Church. There is no cost or registration, and all are invited to attend. The evening will be led by Marlene Foreman, a clinical nurse specialist and education coordinator with Hospice of Acadiana. Ms. Foreman will offer ways to assist and affirm those who have become caregivers of others who are in need of care. Those who attend will be eligible to receive credit toward catechist certification. This presentation will be a repeat of last year's, so individuals who attended and earned these credits last year may not repeat this year's presentation for additional credits. To view a flyer for this event, please visit the calendar section of www.dialaf.org. For additional information, please call 258-0073. Coming up next, Trista Littell interviews Anna LaRiviere about Catholic Schools Week.
It is the time of year when I come to you asking you to support the one appeal that unites all Catholics in our diocese to do good works in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Hi, my name is Monica, and I want to thank the Bishop's Service Appeal, and on behalf of my mother, Linda Hebert. I've been going to the Deaf Action Center for 22 years. I've gotten a variety of equipments, and thank you.
Welcome to Inside the Diocese, the interview segment of Tell the People. I'm Trista Littell with the Office of Pro-Life Apostolate, and joining me today is Anna LaRiviere, Superintendent of Catholic Schools for the Diocese of Lafayette. Welcome, Anna.
Thanks, Trista. It's always a pleasure to be here, and as we are preparing today to celebrate a week-long Catholic School Week, it's always a wonderful time to be here to really let the viewing audience know what our schools are doing during this Catholic School Week.
Well, there's a theme this year for Catholic Schools
There is a
Week.
theme, and the theme is Catholic Schools Raise the Standards. And this year's theme highlights the fact that Catholic schools are celebrated both high in academic achievement and high moral standards. The theme also celebrates the constant attention that Catholic educators pay to increasing the learning and the growth in the faith of the students that they teach and they come into contact with.
Well, what's the importance of celebrating this nationwide, Anna?
Well, I think, certainly here in the Diocese of Lafayette, we have 35 schools, and it's a wonderful time for them to showcase their schools, and many of them have open houses. Registration is taking place in many of the schools. But I think it says a lot more when we celebrate with the nation. There are over 6,800 Catholic schools in the United States, a little over 2 million students. And so I think the connection of us in this little portion of Louisiana, in the Diocese of Lafayette, that we can connect with all of those schools and all of those students throughout the nation. So I think it says a lot about who we are, and that we are here to promote the good works of Catholic education.
Well, what are some of the activities planned? You said there are open houses, and what else is going on?
And I think a lot of our schools begin their week with liturgy, celebrating the liturgy in their local school parish. Many of them highlight their educators of the year, their supporters of the year, and also the students take an active part in the liturgy itself. So I think it's, that's who we are, is about, our faith, promoting that faith among our students and our families. And so, that does encompass, the whole week of celebrating Catholic education.
Now, you mentioned that each school, they have presentations for people that are being honored. Is there one general presentation?
Well, yes. On March the 10th, which is a couple of months from now, there is the recognition ceremony. This will be the 26th year, where the diocese honors Achiever Supporters of the Year at each school, and each school is asked to choose an Educator of the Year at their school. Bishop Jarrell is the presider at, it's a prayer service, it's not a liturgy. It's held at the cathedral, and it's really a wonderful event for our people who are being honored to bring their families, to be honored, to be recognized, not only at the school level, but also at the diocesan level. And that will take place on March the 10th.
On March 10th. Now, is there anything that you'd like the audience to know about Catholic schools?
Well, I think what I would like the audience to know is that we have dedicated men and women who give of themselves, not only in educating our students, but in just being who they are to promote Catholic education in the schools that they serve. Beginning with our own bishop, who is a great supporter of Catholic education. It starts from the top. We have 35 schools where pastors and chancellors are very supportive and committed and dedicated to Catholic education, and certainly our administrators. It's not easy to be an administrator today. Times have changed, but we have 35 dedicated men and women who have been called to be a servant leader. And I just hope that our audience is very appreciative if they do send their child or their grandchildren to Catholic education, that they do take the time to thank them for the dedication and the service that they provide, to their children. And also our teachers, our dedicated teachers, who truly give of themselves. And of course, we could not do it without our parents and their support, and we do it for the children. I always say that education is about educating the students, and God is always leading us in that direction, and certainly we can't go wrong when it's all about the children who are entrusted to our care.
And I know that besides the school activities, there's a lot of extracurricular things that the Catholic school students participate in, like mission trips, and well, just last week there were Marches for Life to promote the sanctity and dignity of human life.
Yes, and many of our schools participate in the Hearts for Haiti, where they collect money for the Mose mission. Alexis Dorbon is sort of the liaison person, and she meets quite regularly with our religion administrators. And just a couple of weeks ago, we had a religion administrators meeting, and she and her family had the wonderful opportunity of living at the mission for a whole week at Thanksgiving. And 2 of our schools have a house named for them, St. Pius and St. Genevieve. They've collected enough money that a home was built for the people. And it's just, those are the kind of things that we don't always hear about. Many of our schools take part in the Miles Perret Center, pennies for that organization. I know that several of our schools collected things for the victims in Connecticut. So all of our schools do something unique for the greater community.
And we want to thank you for sharing all this wonderful news about what our Catholic schools are doing, and we thank you for all you do to promote it.
Thank you very much.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned, folks. There's more to come on Tell the People.
Thank you, Anna and Trista. Coming up next, Father Michael Russo's talk about the family in this segment, what it means to be Catholic.
It is the time of year when I come to you asking you to support the one appeal that unites all Catholics in our diocese to do good works in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
I'm Amanda Montesano, and my mother chose life. So, here I am. Thank you, Pro-Life Office. Thank you, Catholic Adoptions. Thank you, Catholic Schools, and thank you, Bishop Services Appeal.
Hello, I am Father Michael Russo, the pastor of Our Lady of Fatima here in Lafayette, and I will speak to you today on the family. When God entered the world, He entered by way of the family. He could have chose other ways to save the world, but He didn't. He chose the family. And when most of us picture the Holy Family, we think of Jesus, Mary, and Joseph without a worry in the world. They had it made. After all, Jesus was an only child, and He was God. But nothing could be farther from the truth. For Joseph, there was the interior struggle of accepting Mary's pregnancy, involving tremendous trust. And then at what is one of the most profound moments in a married couple's life, the birth of a child, Mary and Joseph are thrown outside in the cold night air with animals foul and smelly. Then there was the dangerous political situation. King Herod is killing little babies. And so Mary and Joseph become uprooted, homeless, and on the run. We can imagine St. Joseph thinking to himself, I was told not long ago that this child would save his people, and now he is not even able to save himself. We have to flee to Egypt because the king wants him dead. King Herod was a great believer in the effectiveness of murder. He had one of his wives, his father-in-law and mother-in-law, and 3 of his own sons killed. At his death, history tells us that, knowing few people in Jerusalem would mourn him, he arranged several executions so that there would be sufficient mourning in the city. And so the measure he was now planning to massacre little boys 2 years and under around Bethlehem was just